And you can do the intro when you're ready.
Yeah, let me just update. Intro, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from Hanover, Pennsylvania. Oh.
He keeps counting down 5-10 seconds ahead. Every week we.
No, I'm doing it. I always want to make sure there's a little bit of space.
Oh no, I just
for the tour, you know.
I just haven't. I haven't done that yet. I was updating stuff. All right, and counting quietly. Hey everybody, welcome to Geeksters episode 173. This is a show where we talk about what it's like to be kind of life in the, life of a tech? Is that where we're gone with now? We used to talk about anything computer-wise, geeky, technology. Oh man, it doesn't matter. We'll cover it from Androids, Apples, sometimes Apples, Arduinos, Raspberry Pis, Linux, gaming systems, whatever kind of gets us going. I'm Martin O'Band. I'm one of the co-hosts here. Hey, before I introduce my other fabulous co-host, I want to go ahead and just remind everybody to check out the new Podnuts website. It's been, new-ish. We're looking at probably December. I think it came out, maybe a little bit before then. It's a great site. New update stuff. We're still working on the live settings for Geekster, so when you come on and you want to watch us live, follow me at Mobando and Google+, and I'll send you out the link for the live show if you want to look at us and, I don't know, smile with us. We also have a live chat that's free node at the hashtag Podnuts channel. You can also just go to podnuts.com and actually click on the live button, and you go to Geeksters Live, and in there's a web-based chat. You can jump on there as well. But Kabuto, Kabuto is the IT monitoring software. Check it out. Go to podnuts.com and just right in the top, there's a button there. You can check it out. You can set it for free. This is This is by the Tech Suite guys who did the computer repair toolkit. Check it out. So on with episode 173. We got Mitch and Tim in the house. I'm gonna go with Mitch this time. How's it going?
Doing pretty good. Had a good 4 days off.
Are you up to your eyeballs in turkey?
No, I was saying that we ate out and there was no turkey in the house, and I missed the leftovers with turkey sandwiches. But we will have it for Thanksgiving. We are having dinner here, and my wife is making a turkey, so I will get leftover turkey with turkey sandwiches. Love
cranberries. Are you a turkey sandwich with cranberry sauce?
Not on it, but I like the cranberry sauce, but not on the sandwich.
No, I know there's like one of the, I don't think it's Togo's or something like that would do turkey and then cranberry sauce and not Swiss cheese, but cream cheese sandwiches.
Really?
Ring a bell? Tim's just excited. He's gonna go get one right now.
Oh man!
I think I actually saw him visually cringe at the fact I said that.
I don't know. I mean, some things individual. That's what's so great about the Reuben. The Reuben is everything that I don't like, but you put it together, it's like, oh, all of a sudden it's like this amazing thing. But you just described a lot of like good things, and that just sounds like you just make garbage.
Oh. I won't tell you that.
But then again, I mean, hey, to each his own. I'm not gonna, hey, somebody likes to eat something, just have at it.
So, Tim, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I was very thankful for the things that I'm thankful for.
Nice. Did you guys sound like Mitch? You went over to your brother's house. Tim, did you stay home?
My sons.
I apologize.
No apology necessary.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm apologizing so much.
My brother's closer to you than he is to me.
Oh. Does he look like? Maybe that's why think I've seen you.
No, he's in Texas. I don't know how close. It's maybe halfway. I don't know.
Yeah, too far. No, anyways, I'm sorry, Tim.
No, don't be sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, did you stay home or hang out, Tim? Did you go somewhere?
Yeah, well, we didn't travel any this year. We stayed local, and got with local family, and it was it was pretty routine, and sometimes routine is good when you have a busy life.
Yeah. Yep.
And we surprises. We don't need this. So it was turkey, and it was pumpkin pie, and it was time with relatives and watch a little football and go to turkey coma and have some sleep, and then a day off, and it was good.
Very nice.
And I was thankful for things too.
Yeah. And thankful, of course.
That's the
Yeah.
You know what? I tell you what. I got a buddy here that he's from Spain originally, but he's been in the States for a decade or two, and he goes back periodically to visit his family. And he actually left uh, early last week or a few days before. I'm trying to remember, it's a week and a half. I don't know. But he's in Spain now, and I was talking to him, and he said this was on Monday. He said, "Well, I'm busy, and I'm setting up the shop. I'll be there Tuesday, but my first day working is going to be Thursday." I'm like, "What kind of bogus country is Spain where you got to work on Thanksgiving?"
I think Thanksgiving is a.
I mean, that's a pretty bogus country where you can't even get a holiday off like Thanksgiving. I would leave that country and go find. I would be thankful for a better country than Spain, where you at least get Thanksgiving off, And
Well, it's not. Why would they? Why would they celebrate it there?
The thing is, his reaction was exactly the same as yours, where it's like there's something wrong with this. What is it? And it's like, well,
I know you're pulling my leg, but I mean,
obviously, we get Thanksgiving off, and it was funny because it actually took some convincing that I was like, it's a joke, LOL.
So he thought you were serious, just like me.
He kept explaining it to me, and I'm like, no, it's like I understand what's wrong with what I said. That's what makes it funny. And when you have to explain it, it's not funny. And I try to explain it. Well, there's a guy in Canada, and we used to just hack him off because, we're like, well, when do you set your fireworks off? Well, we set them off at, I don't know, Christmas or something. I'm like, Christmas?
Why?
That's stupid. It's like, don't you set them off the 4th of July? Well, he's in Canada. Don't you set them off the 4th of July? Oh, no, the 4th. I'm like, what kind of bogus country are you from? You don't have a 4th of July. He would get infuriated. Oh, we would just, we knew what we were doing, but he played into it, and it was so, he would get, I know that Mitch knows who I'm talking about. It's our friend up north in Canada, Yeah, okay, all right, and
that's the first thing I was thinking about.
That's okay, yeah, and so you can pull his string pretty quick, so. But I explained my friend Spain. We did the same thing to Nerd Guy. He's in Canada. I don't know if I ever did get it clear that I'm not like a complete American rube. But anyway, I wouldn't live in a country that doesn't have Thanksgiving and 4th of July. These are holidays.
Well,
I celebrate Cinco de Mayo, huh? So that's an important one to me. St. Patrick's Day. Don't get me started. But hey, I'll take a day off. What's wrong with you? Sure, I'll take a day off.
Are you done?
He's moving on to Valentine's Day next.
I think I covered it sufficiently.
Well, I was in the market for a big TV. Even though my wife said no, I kept on talking, just bugging her. Look, they got 2 years no financing, whatever, blah blah blah. So she finally gave in, and I got a 55-inch Samsung. The model it's a J6300. I didn't want to go. I could have got a 4K for almost the same thing, but I think this one had like some more features that the lower end 4Ks didn't have, and I was only going to spend so much money. But I'm satisfied. It took some tweaking to get everything adjusted the way I like it, because the blacks are blacks and the whites are white. You see something that's in the shadow, you don't see anything. I had to get all adjusted, but it's all good. It's all good now.
But where is it upstairs? Is that your old television behind you there?
No, it's upstairs. Now this is a 40-inch behind me. The box is down here for the new TV.
It looks like a garage door.
I know.
Now I'm getting used to it. It doesn't look so big now, but compared to a 40-inch,
Years ago, we had this tiny TV, and my wife said, "Okay, we can get a new TV." And she's the one who went. So we have a 32-inch TV. That's our biggest TV.
Oh my!
That's
and it's CRT, right?
No, it's not CRT. Which we paid something. We paid something like $800 for it. It was pretty expensive. Now I had a client buy some new Dell computers, and they gave away 32-inch TVs with it. Like 32-inch TVs are consolation prizes now.
Right. Well, it's crazy. I had my last CRT TV that I bought was a Panasonic. It was a 32-inch. It weighed like 180 pounds, and I couldn't give it. I mean, I couldn't sell it, and I couldn't even give it away. But I finally did. My boss got it. So this is after we got our first HD TV, and my boss got it. Him and his son came over, and I had to get in there and give him a hand. It was so ridiculously heavy. This 55-inch that I got with the SAM, I think it's like 39 or 40 pounds.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's very incredible. And that was the thing when I finally got my first nice, thin, big. I mean, it's not quite as hideously small and embarrassing as Martin's.
Sorry.
But it's not anywhere near as vulgar as the one that Mitch has. It's in the middle. It's like just right. But I remember when I unboxed it, and it was just so amazing to me that it's like
how can I do this?
I just picked it up with one hand and pulled out of the box.
Yeah.
It's just like it was I mean, I don't know. I suppose I should be more jaded than I am working in tech, but just every once in a while, just come across something that common sense tells you it's going to be this way, and you've been expecting it, and then you read about the story. But then when it finally gets there, it's like Star Trek. It's this world we live in. It's so amazing.
Yeah, I'll ask you the same question. I was asking Donald, one of the tech guys in the TeenSpeak. Did you ever think about fixing TVs? Because it seems like they're pretty easy to fix, but he says, but the parts are not cheap, and it may come to a point where it's not cost effective to fix a TV unless you get something that's thousands of, really, really, really expensive. But you could need a part. It could be $200-300 for one part.
You know what? The TVs, it's hit or miss. The only ones I've ever fixed, actually, I've done more monitors than TVs, and that was, where there were common issues with, blown caps, leaky caps, that sort of thing. Whereas a really cheap, easy fix, something you could see
right
easily. The thing with TVs, I think that, man, if you're gonna do it, if somebody gives you one because it's broken and they don't want it back, I mean that's maybe a fun little project. But
right.
Man, you take one from a customer, it's like it's not computer repair. I mean, it's entirely different. Diagnostic manuals and that, trying to sort this out. Is it this or it's that? And you get to a point where it's like, well, it's one of these three things. What are we going to do? Shotgun it? I mean,
see, I don't know. I don't know.
If I was going to do it, I would need to do it full time, nothing else, and I wouldn't even know.
That's kind of what my question is. Is it easier or just as easy or not as easy as fixing a laptop or?
You know what? I think that I think where I'm at on it is that, like, if I went to work for somebody else and that's what we were doing, I'd be more than happy to do it. But as far as what I got now, I don't have the space to do that.
Yeah.
Those many of those big things.
Exactly.
And it's like I kind of have a good thing going, and I'd be willing to like look at something for somebody. I've done that many times, but I'll be very quick to say this is way beyond what I do. And they're so cheap. They're so cheap. I mean, the thing is, it's like it gets to be 3 years old and it's broken. Oh, yeah, we thought we'd get more life out of it. But, I mean,
I've never worked on an LCD screen.
But I mean, but after a day or so, people are like, well, we'll just buy, they're just so big, they're so amazing, they're so cheap.
Right.
Yeah, shock it.
No TVs for me. Nope.
It was. I mean, I had no choice. I got these 60-year-old eyes, and that was my main bargaining tool for my wife. To let me get one. Because we're watching.
Give me a TV. I'm going to drive this car right off this road because I can't see.
That's funny.
She's watching The Big Bang Theory, and I thought it was Dennis the Menace. So I said, "There you go, hon. We have to get another TV."
You knew what she was watching.
That's funny. It dovetails real nicely with what I was about to say. My father, he's always been like just Like TV is not a thing. Like he has a few shows over the years that he'll sit down and he'll really enjoy it. But like just TV, he just doesn't exist in his life. And so
It,
every time that he's bought one, it's just like it's just ridiculous. It's why he even had it. Right now. This is absolutely honest to goodness truth. Right now, he has like a little 11. It's an 11-inch set. It's like I think you would buy it for like an RV or something.
mm.
But it's like it sits on this little stand about 4 feet from the couch, and I just think it's just. And I'm sitting there working on like a 17-inch laptop, right? This little television, it's so comical.
Is it a
And
CRT?
no, it's a little flat screen. I mean, it's
Okay.
like, I don't know, if it's round, it'd be like a frisbee. I'd just throw it. It's just so ridiculous. That's my dad. It's like he just don't care. It's like TV. Yeah, you put it on, you sit there, and maybe squint at the news for a while, you go to bed.
I'll tell you what, my father, we're going back many years ago, the only time he would watch TV is if a ball game was on. If not, he's there reading the paper or he's laying in bed reading the paper. That's what he did 90% of the time.
What's this paper?
A newspaper, yeah.
Those,
Yeah.
I've seen those in libraries.
Yeah,
They're
really.
in museums now, I believe.
In Black Friday, listen, this Black Friday, my wife goes, or the day before, she goes, we have to go get a newspaper because of the coupons. So it's the same things online. What do you, it's no different.
Yep.
Oh gosh, there is something about the paper. It's the physical thing, the touch, the feel, the sound that makes it. I mean, there is something there that is missing. I mean, most of it I don't miss. I don't miss the newsprint. I'm all over my fingers, and I don't miss the trying to fold thing up. And of course, by the time you get the paper, somebody's already touching it. And it's screwed. It's wrecked. I mean, you have to be the first one to the paper, otherwise, forget it. It's trash. It's not. It's like a road map. Get folded up wrong, throw it away. But there is something about that. Something's missing. There's something like I'll miss when it's gone. But then again, I touch a newspaper probably 3 times a year. Twice is on accident. So
The same here.
I'm just listening.
All right, I have another good story for you.
Do it. I'm going to take another drink.
My good friend, he's my age, a couple months older, and he got into technology way late. Like his first computer he got a laptop about 7 years ago, and of course I had to take him by the hand and tell him which one to get, blah blah. But he since got another one, but now he wants to get a smartphone, coming from a track phone. I mean, he could get in line with that thing, but you wouldn't consider that a smartphone. So I'm on Boost Mobile now. I pay $35 a month. I'm satisfied with it, and it works good around here. The deal I got was when I forward stuff over from Verizon, they had the S4 was on the deal with $180 you forward it over. Even though it's an older, two steps behind, whatever, versions behind, still a nice phone. Anyway, so Jay wants to get a smartphone. Well, their deals are changing all the time, but they'll have, if you forward over your phone number, they'll have like some free phones, some $50 phones, cheap. But he wanted to get something like the S4, which they don't have that deal anymore. They have the phones, but they want $329 for it. They had the LG 3, but they didn't have it in. Same price for that. But they had an LG Flex, which was similar to the LG 3. And it has way more specs, a lot more specs than the S4. But Jay goes, well, I'll get the S4 since you know how to use it already. You can show me. Yeah, I said, Jay, but for the same money, you're getting, 16 gigs onboard storage as opposed to 32 with the LG, faster processor, better camera. Yeah, I think I'll get the S4. So that's what he got. But and of course I had to set it up for him. But he's doing pretty good. I thought he'd be calling me up a lot more than he has been. So, but it was fun, But I'm trying to tell him, Jay, you might not like it. You might get frustrated. Get one of these free phones. Then you're not really losing anything. And if you want to get a new phone, just get a better one later on. But he got it off the bat, the S4. So Yeah, he's sending me text messages. He's not realizing he's doing it, but he is sending me text messages.
My mother was here for Christmas or Thanksgiving, and she wanted help setting up her phone. And yeah, she's got an Android phone now. So she had a flip phone for a long time, and she pulls out her phone and she wanted to get online. I'm like, oh, it's running like 4.3. So nothing new on the Android, but she can get her email, she can send text, she can take pictures now, and then well, I think what's happening is she still uses her digital camera, which is older and probably less megapixels than if she just used her phone. But we didn't talk about that.
You didn't go over with her how to get the pictures off the phone onto the computer and all.
No, because she knows how to do it. She knows how to do it from the camera to the computer. And why?
No. Don't no. If you got something working, Mom, don't do that.
Nope.
Don't do that.
Well, and they live 6 hours away, so it's not like I can just run over there and help fix it.
Remote.
Yeah, I guess. But
I had to tell Jay, look, you can get those pictures and videos off your camera on your computer. Yeah, I can mail it to myself. I said, no. He tried to mail out a 30 meg video, and it wouldn't let him do it. I said, no, you don't. You just anyway. I logged in. I showed him, here, hook up your phone, and I showed him how to get it off of there.
That's what Dropbox is for.
What's Dropbox? Yeah, because I said, look, you have a Google account. You can use. They give you 15 gigabytes of on Google Drive. You can do that. What's Google Drive? So just hook it up to your hook it up to your computer. I'll show you how.
Never mind. Just mail it to yourself.
And Mark, and he's my best friend, and I'll start getting agitated with him. And my wife goes, "Why do you got to be so mean? Why do you got to be so mean?"
You say somebody has to. You got to teach somebody a lesson.
I don't mean to be, but because I tell you, I don't think everything that I learned. Everything I learned was online or out of books.
Oh boy,
it was fun.
I was trying to think of something. I had one issue that I think is resolved, and I'm excited for it. So let me pull up the email here. So what's happening is I had one of the clients that I have. They have an application called Yardi, and Yardi is it's a web-based property management program. What happens is they pull up reports from it and uses Crystal reports to pull up some PDFs and parse things out. And so they open up. And this happens. We saw this happening more and more with Yardi. So what will happen is they go to pull up a report in Microsoft Excel and they click on it, and then they just get an error, and Excel pops up with an error, and the error says, I'm pulling it up. Oh, come on. Here it is. It says there was a problem sending the command to the program, and then across the top it says C users, and then the username appdata / appdata / local / Microsoft / Windows / temp, and then it goes on. It says tempo, and I'm assuming it's Tempo West, or don't know what it's for. But what was happening was they would do that, and they would get an error. They'd click OK, they would do it again, and they may or may not get an error, and eventually Excel would open up. This is Excel 2013 on a brand new laptop. And I thought it was just one user. And then another user kind of started having the problem too. Found out that if you open up Excel, just open it up and just let it sit, then try to export it, it works just fine. So we were messing with it and playing with it. Come to find out, this is a known Microsoft issue, and apparently when I started really working on it, not a lot of people were having this issue. Yeah. It was just, it would work and it wouldn't work, and so I'd go in, and a lot of people were saying turn off the DFE, maybe change some of the admin permissions. I mean, just basically take your 12-sided die and roll it and hopefully try to do that. It was one of those things where what worked for one person didn't work for the other, and then something weird would happen for one. Like there was nothing. So ended up I didn't hear from her for a long time, and I thought, well, maybe it's fixed. And then she says, hey, any response on this? No, not yet. So ended up doing some more research and coming up with this. Finally finding out what the problem is. And you actually have to go way into the registry to fix this. And I can't even tell you. I have got the registry list, so if somebody has this, let me know, give me a call. But you have to go into the registry and really edit. You have to edit the command line in the registry for under like the HKey classes root excel.sheet 12. 12 is for like you have a 12 and an 8, and then shell open in the command folder. So you're actually modifying the open command folder. It was weird. I understood it, but so I've just have these really really rough notes on how to get it to work, and it's so far so good.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there is having this issue, let me know. I can send you some of my documentation that I kind of just quickly just copied and pasted. But it was one of those things where it had been going on for so long. It was kind of a win to kind of nice to actually get that ticket closed and move on.
But don't you think it's an update? It warrants an update by Microsoft. I mean,
Oh yeah.
This,
Oh yeah.
it's annoying. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had issues too over the years. I think I'm using 2010 at work. No, actually it's 2007, Office 2007. But I remember some of the previous versions, like Word wouldn't open up. If you get a Word document, you couldn't open it up, and there was this hidden folder you had to clean out. I'm getting this from the help desk, and I can't remember what I had to do. And then now I think I told you before. Every now and then, I mean, I run this program in Access, and it emails me this Excel file. Sometimes it crashes. If I save it right away, it will just open right back up. But if I don't save it, it'll still open back up. But all my columns are like that. I gotta stretch them the right size. But I'm not sure what that is. But if I save it, and I think it's just because I'm opening up through email, I think it might have something to do with it. But Lisa's she's the good person to ask about Microsoft Office.
You shouldn't put 30 meg videos in there to try and put in your email.
No. That's emailing. That's Jay emailing videos to himself.
So. So here's a little rant, maybe a little question for you guys. When you get an email from a client, and the email they just drag and drop the picture into the email as opposed to an attachment, does that just bother anybody else, or is that just me?
What do you like better?
I would rather have it as an attachment. Don't put the picture inside of the email because
it shows in the body of the.
Right.
I do like that. I mean, at work because I'm constantly emailing other distribution centers all around the country, and something's wrong. I take a picture of it or whatever, or a snapshot, and I want them to see it right away. But I know what you're saying. No, it doesn't bother me.
Well, here's the problem you may run into, right? So you are now, and myself, because I said that I can see those, is that our email is HTML, which means that you could put a link to of course you could put a link that's a malicious link inside of an email. So if you turn that off, you're never going to see that. You may actually get a little HTML tag that says somebody tried to put something there, but that's just I don't know. It's just one of those things that I live with, but I would much rather prefer that people would just attach a picture as an attachment to the email and not make it part of the email. And I know Outlook doesn't make it any. Outlook is not even pushing that way. Outlook has email. Outlook's email application or Microsoft's email application. Outlook basically is a word processing application. So that's how you can do the fonts and the wingdings.
Look at it this way. What I'll do at work, they sent the wrong product, right, or it's got the wrong label in it. I'll write it up, then I'll take a picture of it, so they can see it, and everything's right there. They can see the message. They can see the barcode is wrong. It's not the right product on the different product. To me, it's a thing of convenience. But I see what you're saying. Like in regular email, you don't. But I mean, that's probably why they do it in a work environment.
Sure, it's convenience.
Yeah.
What about you, Tim?
He's trying to
You know what?
trying to figure out what the heck we're talking about.
It's just email. Is that like a newspaper thing, you guys?
Yeah, yeah,
It's-
exactly.
I mean,
the
maybe it's
thing-
just me.
Well, wait. I mean, the thing is that first of all, this is a conversation we all kind of had last week or two, just about correspondence. You know, how do you communicate with your customer? Well, I mean, the way you communicate with your customers is what works. But I mean, you'll find your customers communicating to you in just all manner of creative channels. And so, you know, the thing is that, and you know, we of course we all have Vox installed on our phones because that was kind of the default, like, you know, what we all started using originally. And you know, and it's good enough, you know, for what it is, what it does. It was, and but you know, the thing about the Voxer is like, somebody puts on their phone, and you know, it searches your contacts, and it's like, so your customer gets a pop, hey, Martin Abandos is using Voxer, contact him now, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, Martin Abandos, he didn't have a setting to click to say, no, don't do that to me, because you're not offering them a feature, you're offering me a disservice by doing that, you know. And so in this world, you have all these applications, they're all searching through all your stuff, and they're like, hey, contact this person this way, hey, over here, do this, and next thing you know, you got your customers, they're getting to you, like, every time you turn around, something else beeps. It's like, oh my gosh, how'd that person get me this way? And the thing is that you know, you go insane. I mean, everybody's trying to contact you all these different ways, and then there's one that 3 months later, it's like, well, you never respond to me, and it's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, lady, and like, well, I sent you a message by electronic carrier pigeon, and it's like, I don't accept electronic carrier pigeon. What is that? You know,
It's a drone.
And so and she's like, well, I got confirmation that you received it. It's like, so you know, that's the thing about, you know, the customers is that, you know, you really have to establish what channels of communication they're allowed to use, and when they violate it, you tell them that I'll gladly, you know, but do not contact me this way if you need my, because you won't get my attention. I mean, you want my attention, and that's not the way you get it. So you have to really establish what the channels of communication are, and email is not one that I use a lot. People can get me the email. You know, it's not like I don't check it, but it's just not something that's in front of me. You know, it doesn't get my attention. I have to, you know, it's not something that I ever really like latched onto and used and really harnessed. And so, you know, I understand what you're talking about. It's not something that really affects me much. And honestly, a lot of the stuff I find myself dealing with, it's like, so they put a picture in the email. Who cares? I mean,
Well, yeah,
I spent 10 minutes on the phone with a lady. My wife, she did me a favor. She picked the laptop up. The laptop had a charger cable. I said, laptop check, charger cable check. I said, how'd you get the password? Oh, I'm like, oh, here we go. I
hate
spent now look, I know this lady, the owner of the machine, wonderful woman, you know, I know her from church, great family. I was really glad to have the job. You know, I was glad to help her out. I was on the phone 10 minutes. I'm punching keys exactly as she's telling me. I couldn't get into it. I'm pressing the keys exactly as she's telling me what her password is, and I couldn't get in. That's okay. So I said after 10 minutes, I'm like, well, this isn't going. I said, yeah, I feel like we've gotten as far as we can with this. I literally said, I'll just figure something out. I was truly exasperated. I mean,
Well, what about cracking the password or resetting the password?
But that's not what the story is. I mean, the story is
Sorry.
this is like the hairpoint adventures I have. It's like, and Martin's like, oh, people send me pictures. They're not attached, but they're in the email. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, that's really rough, there, son.
No, I get that.
However, you're completely off. You know, you did start out by saying it was kind of a pet peeve. It wasn't like this was ruining your life, but really my point was just that that's email. It's just not really kind of one of my main channels of communication. So I can see where that would be irritating. But
What's that thing we use? The one I got it too. You got it. The one you like the best to get in a Windows machine without the password.
Conboot, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was, and
I use the NT offline
yeah,
one.
yeah. I used that too recently. But I had this. Well, that one I think I emailed you, I roxed you about. It came off a network. She never thrown stuff away to this company, and it was on a domain. And I used OPH crack to get the thing because I got in one, but it wouldn't let me do it until I got the the administrator one. Got an administrator one, and I was able to take it off the domain and change everything I wanted. But it took me a while, but I got it.
Yeah, you had to get into a local account.
I could get in the local account. I had to get in the admin account. Once I got in there, I was able to change everything and take it off the domain and make it a normal computer.
The admin account had to be a local account for the password to be stored locally.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, some.
But I mean, there was different accounts on there, but
yeah. You're right,
I couldn't do anything in. I know I got into a different account, but it wouldn't let me do anything. Once I got into the admin account,
right.
I was able to change stuff, the password, and take it off the domain. And
so anyway, I got her all. But anyway, I guess I might as well tell the ending of the story. I used Conboot, got into her account. I enabled the administrator account, set a password to it, rebooted the machine without Conboot. I was able to log into my brand new administrator account and cleaned up the machine from there. And then when I returned it, actually my concern was, excuse me, that either something that's whatever like I said, it needed cleaned up. It wasn't really bad. It wasn't really wrecked or anything. But my concern was that something had broken. That the password or the whole credentials that something, because I mean she's telling me the letters or the buttons and I'm pressing them as I just couldn't imagine what wasn't working here, and so I took it and I didn't say anything. I took it back. I said, Mom, I'll bring it back and I just want to make sure you're satisfied and it's working okay. Well, I want to see her log into it. That's what I really want to see. And I set that thing in front of her and she's like, doop, 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 press enter, it just logs right in. And I'm like, you know what? I would have been furious if I wasn't so relieved, and because
sweating.
I was like, I really want to be angry about this, but I can't. I'm happy because I want to spend more time working on this, and anyway, do you want to know what the problem was?
Caps lock.
Oh, you do know.
Well, it was caps lock, but she didn't realize that caps lock alters the alphabet keys, but that when you press caps lock, you still get a 7. You don't actually get the symbol above the 7. And so for several years now, she's been typing this in, and it's obscured, and I guess she's never hit the little eyeball or whatever it is to see it. And so puts caps lock on to get for everything. So many letters and characters, and then she turns caps lock off. Well, the whole time it's been making a numeral, not the symbol. She had no idea.
Oh,
so as I'm typing and I'm pressing shift like
right
99.9% of the population would do, and that's not what she's been doing. And so, anyway.
Well, the only reason I guess that is because I have a client who gave me her password and she wrote it down and it wouldn't work. I called her. She said, "This is what it is." Wouldn't work. We went and then she took the computer back and she got in and I don't. Finally, what it was is she's like, "Oh, you have to have the caps lock on." So then when she types capital like M at the beginning of her her password, it's actually a lowercase m.
Oh,
so it's backwards.
Yeah.
Why? Why is it backwards?
Well, if you turn,
because she has caps lock on, but then she hits shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So say her password's Martin, instead of capital MARTIN, she types she keeps caps lock. Now it becomes lowercase m cap ARTIN.
Because she's hitting the shift key with the capitals on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I never.
And so that just lowercases everything. So
I
anyways,
didn't know that.
Yeah. So anyway,
Interesting.
and then she
end users are fun.
right, and then her husband proceeded to drop her laptop.
And then you don't have to worry about it all now.
Well, kind of, because it's the school's laptop, and so the hinges are all snapped off, and then before Christmas I heard, well, my husband's gonna fix it. I'm like, what do you mean by fix it? Should I be fixing this? Well, no, he dropped it, so he's gonna fix it, which came out to be, I think he was gonna pull the hard drive and put the hard drive in something else. But now you're physically changing the machines. It's not the same machine. It's a physically different machine, and so I just kind of said whatever.
Oh, God.
All right, all right, I got a question for you guys, both you guys.
Yeah.
Tim,
Fantastic.
my gaming machine, my gaming laptop, which I don't use for gaming,
Yeah,
but I was on it last week, and I hear the fan running. I never hear the fan running. I mean, it's not overly loud, but it just never runs. And it was just sluggish. It would not respond.
Okay.
I said, what's going on? I mean, I rebooted. It was fine. It's been all right since. I did update. There were some driver updates. I did that. But what's concerning me, I hope it's not a hardware problem. Or could it just be a software problem? It could have caused that. I don't know. All I was doing was browsing online.
Wow. Okay. This story has no ending.
No, I mean, it rebooted. It's been fine since.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, I left it on one day. I was running Malwarebytes, and I left it on, and I went out of that. It was on for like 8 hours. We were out of the house, not that long, maybe 5 hours, 6 hours, and it was fine. It was fine. It's been fine since, but it just, stuff like that always, I worry, or in my past when I was working on machines a bit, could be hardware issues.
Open up Task Manager and see if there's something in there that's cranking along, or and
well, I mean, I didn't do it at the time. I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do. It wouldn't even shut down. It took forever to shut down.
Yeah,
I couldn't do anything. And of course, when I know what here's what did when I did come back up, it wanted me to do the user agreement thing for Windows 10, which I never even, on that computer I never even told it to install. Of course, I declined. So I don't know if it was just downloading it at the same time. I mean, which shouldn't have been a problem with my speed, my connection here. So I don't know. It's just a strange thing.
And there you go. I mean, it's that's in 9 times out of 10 a reboot fixes a lot of Windows problems. So
yeah.
I think that's what you discovered. I have a laptop. It's on nightstand. I like because I actually watch that. That's my television there in the bedroom. I watch a little television back in bed, and of course, check the internet or whatever's going on. So the fan runs quite a bit anymore, and that's what I was saying. Open up Task Manager. See, I mean, because if it's unusual, I say, well, just see if there's something that's stuck or something going on. Yeah, reboot. But I mean, this is doing quite a bit. I think, what, it's time just take it out the garage and blow the dust out. I think that's.
Yeah, I mean, this is 4 or 5 months old. It's not that old,
Yeah. So Windows got its brain all fuzzed up.
I have that laptop. I have it on a 40-inch hooked up to a 40-inch TV. And then my new TV.
Hey, that's in your bathroom, right?
No. Hey,
It's in his car.
The 55-inch TV. I have that. Remember that HP streaming thing I got with
Yeah.
I have that hooked up to the 55-inch. It looks strange looking at Windows on a 55-inch TV.
Man, that's.
But it
The
works
icons are huge.
Yeah.
That is pretty.
I mean, Netflix works well on it. I have. Oh, here's the thing. I had to turn off. I had to dig in there. They have that. If you Google it, you'll see people complaining about Samsung, the smart apps are snooping on you. I didn't have a mic thing in there, but I'm watching regular TV, and the Samsung apps are popping up. It was doing some kind of targeting thing, ad thing. I finally went there and had to Google, figure out how to turn all that stuff off.
Did I ever tell you guys that I have a friend of mine who works for a company who creates those ads?
Can I have his address? No, that's it.
I don't recall you telling us that.
Yeah, so I meet him. I knew he worked in technology, so I go downtown Portland and we're talking sometime, and I go into his office and he's like in a cube for him, and he has 3 TVs in his cube alone, and these are not small TVs. They're big, like 40-inch TVs, and they're all on different channels. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. You have all of these TVs, and and they're watching cable. Well, what he does is he works with the manufacturers, and they create ads. So, say you're watching your favorite episode of Gilmore Girls, because which one? That's hard to choose. Which one is my favorite episode?
Yeah, I'm having no problem imagining that.
It's a tough. Anyways, so you're watching their favorite episode where Sally and Josie are having an argument. Well, they're talking about Coca-Cola, and up comes an ad whether or not you want to take a survey of whether you like Coke products or Pepsi products better. He works for a company that creates those ads, and I said, well, how does that work? And he says the app on the TV built in listens to your television, and when it finds, and so what he does is he gets these TV shows ahead of time, he makes snippets of them and programs the app to listen for this the TV to say this phrase. And then once the TV says it, it says, "Oh, that's my cue," and it opens up and it turns on the app, and now you get something on your screen.
I didn't see anything to turn off. You might not be able to turn that feature off.
Yeah, I don't
Some
know.
of them have a mic you can talk. I mean, it can hear you. I don't think mine's like that. But I guess you can't turn off the sound on the TV, obviously.
So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the thing that cues it? Are you saying it's something that's actually like generated, recorded, and actually put into a commercial? Or is this like a random thing it's listening for, and it's like during the middle of the show it hears like it hears Coca-Cola. It's like, oh, Coca-Cola. They're talking about Coca-Cola. We're going to do Coca-Cola. That's what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, from my understanding is that, and I may be wrong here, but my understanding is that it listens for two people, or it listens for conversations, and in that conversation it realizes what's there, and so it actually just listens to the audio and it matches the audio with, and the audio is the trigger, kind of like a hidden, a sleeper cell CIA agent, that it hidden that the passphrase or the word or the phrase they say triggers the app to run.
Are you saying your friend watches these TV shows and he's picking out these moments where he's like, oh?
I believe that's correct. Yeah, I believe he has the shows and then picks out what's there, and so then when it broadcasts on TV, then it's like, oh well, they talk about Coke, great, snippet. Here's what it says. When if then do this type thing, and wow. I
think you're right on, Margaret, because when that thing popped up, it was associated.
Hey, don't make me tell you to take the TV back.
The thing that popped up was associated to the commercial it was running. I think so, but I think yeah. Can't remember what it was.
It's weird, and so I was just like, that's pretty Big Brother of him. And then I go to Fred Meyer's, and I do my little Fred Meyer card, bleep, I get a little discount, and then up comes coupons for things that I purchased in the past. So I quickly had to eat a piece of humble pie.
What kind of a world is this where we accept this nonsense, yet we reject the Q-Cat?
The Q-Cat.
What kind of a crazy upside-down world is this?
Crazy.
That's all I have to say.
My wife's making something for dinner, and it smells really good. I have no idea what it is.
That's dirty.
So if I start drooling, I apologize. It has nothing to do with you two.
Well,
handsome, don't get me wrong, but
great. Now I'm not getting something good to eat, and I'm hideous. Well, thanks a lot. I'm not inviting you over to my next Gilmore Girls party.
Sweet.
Hey, speaking of Big Brother,
Yes, I want you to talk about this.
well, I hope I'm talking about the same thing.
I think we're talking. Is this that one thing where that one thing happened and those people are really upset about it?
Oh man, it it's exactly that thing, except it's a lot of people upset about it, and uh, important people that make big decisions that affect a lot of people. That you don't usually don't care if they get involved, they're getting involved, and I knew they would, and it's
Like
about time.
bus drivers.
You do not mess with the bus drivers. The bus drivers have a sign, and they tap it. It says, "Do not talk to bus driver."
That's
And
right.
you can ask him, "Does this go to the?" And he goes,
Can
he
you
taps the
read?
sign, and he points at it, and you're like, "But I'm not sure. Does this go to?" And he points to the sign, he taps it. Don't talk to the bus driver. Um, VTech.
Oh, sorry.
VTech has they they were the ones. We knew somebody would go too far, and it was VTech. Or they actually didn't go far enough. You know, what we were just talking about. You know, we have all these ads. We accept things that listen. It tracks us. They have data, but they do enough of it that we find it's a convenience or it helps us or targeted. It's like, okay, well, I get enough out of this. Okay, well, if they want to know if I prefer saltines or Ritz crackers, they're allowed to know that if I get the coupons I want. Hey, but there was a time when we didn't want anybody to know that. We didn't want anybody to know anything about us, and it was almost obscene that you would even have to put both your name and your address and your social security number on your on your IRS tax forms. It was insane to put all that information in the same place and stick it in the mail because who knows. And now we let all that information fly. It's Pandora's box is open. We've become numb to it. We don't even think of it anymore. And so we have all these accounts, and they want a username, and they want a password. They want to know your address. Well, okay, you have it. You know, we've become comfortable giving our cell phone number, because it's for security. But as they ask for this information, we're so accustomed to giving it, we don't think anything of it. And then you never stop to think, oh, they have a lot of my information. What happens if something? Well, we have these data breaches, and we've become none of those. Well, they lost all this information because some jerk left a work laptop on a bus somewhere, and the bus driver drove away, with the laptop, yeah, and it ended up in the wrong hands. But we've actually become accustomed to, okay, well, they got my information. What are you going to do? And you do your best. You try and clean it up, and well, VTech, they were they offered a service. It was a feature. It's one thing when you lose your own information. It's another thing when they get your kids. And uh, VTech was doing, it's like, well, with your Google on your phone, you get the pictures, it backs it up, it's all very convenient. And so these VTech products, they were doing something very similar. Um, and so we're conditioned to it. We don't think anything of it. And VTech got hacked bad. I'm sure that much of our audience is probably familiar with this. I don't know if you're familiar with the details. If you haven't heard of this story, um, this is the one. This is the data breach that's going to change everything, because as companies have been, it's been the Wild Wild West. They've taken more and more freedom. They ask us more information. We've given it to them freely. We've become used to it. We give more. Eventually, it would go too far. And VTech had a product where this thing was doing all kinds of stuff.
It was called Kid Connect.
Which already sounds bad.
Right.
The name itself is like, that's a red flag. First of all, this company it's a name VTech. They're based in Hong Kong. So how much personal information do you want to send? It's not like in Hong Kong or it's maybe California. This is a company, Hong Kong. All this information. Yeah, sure, I'm just gonna take it. So hacker got in. Um, he it's not clear to me yet if this is like a I don't get the sense that this is a black hat kind of guy, but he doesn't quite feel all white hat to me either. He's actually, I think he's a little bit spooked by what he actually managed to get his hands on. I think that maybe I think he's trying to just back away from it as much as he can, but he said that it was way too. This wasn't like he just found a secret hole and got through it. I mean, he said this stuff was not protected properly. It was very easy to get at, and it was all the numbers. It was all normal stuff: customers' names, email addresses, passwords, secret questions for the passwords, residential addresses, download history. But these things, well, it happens. Breaches. What are you gonna do? Well, but it gets worse. They have IP addresses. This is all logged at VTech, stored, saved. What part of the service they had at this thing was that this Kid Connect, your child could take pictures of themselves. It would upload. I don't know. I don't know if it's like a sharing thing, like a little baby G Plus or Facebook or something, but it would upload pictures of the children, okay, and there was also a chat feature, so that there were chat logs stored between parents and children. So, all right, so I've painted a pretty boring story here. It just seems like nuts and bolts, but when you actually put it together, when this guy got in there, he was able to download. He downloaded everything they had. He was able to basically download it. That included where is the 190 gigabytes of photos. There's no actual figure yet of how many pictures that was, but 190 gigabytes. This affected 4.8 million adults and over 200,000 children. I think it's actually pictures of children, and every single photograph. Let's stop it. Okay, so this is what the man has. Every single photograph of a child, he was able to reference it to residential address, IP address, parents' names, other credentials, and worse, he also had, this is the information that VTech had, he was able to download, also included, sorry, it's buried in the story somewhere. It was every photo that he was able to download of a child, he was able to reference it to the address registered with the account, IP address, child's name, and birth date. So it's like, oh my God. So if you actually put yourself in that situation, is if I had used this product and you're not paying attention. I mean, I set it up for the kids and they just play with it. I don't know what they're doing with it. It's you assume some degree of safety. Well, if my children use this right now, this hacker would have in his hands a picture of my son or my daughter, their name, where they live, when their birth date is, how old they are, and it's like it's it's literally like he has enough content there to build a giant pervert store where it's like, here, just dealing cards, ain't you like this? It's like unbelievable. And the thing is, I may be reading too much into it, but this guy, he says, I got this is how I did it, but he's just moving a little bit at a time. And if I was him, I would be like extremely frightened of what happens next, because I would like to think that if there was some security issue in the world and I was able to find it, that I would help find it. But the thing is that if I actually had that now in my possession, um, I, I'd be beside myself of what could happen next.
Right. I think that the rules definitely change, and it gets scarier once you're in when kids get involved. And from reading another article that talks about basically he wanted to root his little device that he got, and put Doom on it. And in another forum, people were talking about how they use that web service. And so he browsed around, found one of the sites. It was using Flash. He had a login box, and then he used just a SQL injection, logged in, was like, oh, now I've got root, started looking around, and all of a sudden he's like, whoa, So I don't think he intentionally went to do this. The problem is that sometimes you never intentionally go outside in your backyard to step in a dog do, but when you do, you realize that maybe it was put there by a cow, and it's a lot bigger than you expected it to be.
Well, how many times you've been there? It's like something technology-wise, software, the coding, or hardware. It's like, wow, look at this. There's a door, but the door opened. Well, where's this go? And you just can't. You follow around, go down this hallway. It's like, oh, this is it. I don't think I'm supposed to be here, but well, hey, look, this door opened too. You just, this is a little too easy, and then you find yourself, you're falling into the Grand Canyon. It's like, I understand how easily that can happen in technology. This thing is big, and in my mind, it's this whole thing of data and who's allowed to have it and what they're allowed to have and the security surrounding it. I think that the freedom that companies have to and how they do all this, I think that has expanded way beyond the point, and I always hate to see it, but you get to a point where it's like it's going to require legislation, and it didn't. Yesterday, G Plus was blowing up the story. Today, CNN's blowing up with the blowhards, and they're coming in. It's like, oh my gosh. Sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes you just need the giant governing body of the feds to start doing something. But you hate to see it happen, but it's like this is unbelievable how ugly this thing is. What could happen?
Yeah.
And there has to be some serious change. Come on, technology. Hey, everybody in tech, you got to police ourselves. And if we don't police, thank you, VTech, because you just screwed us on this now. It's like we have to police ourselves. We have to take care of security ourselves, or it's going to be taken care of for us, and we're not going to like what happens. So thank you, VTech, for really screwing the pooch on this one for everybody.
Yes.
Jerks.
Yep. Well, guys, I have to get going, unfortunately. It's kind of a bit of a shorter night for us, but I think we've had a good show. I think we've got a lot of stuff talking about. We got definitely a lot of stuff to mull over, and I'm interested to see in the next week or so how this VTech thing plays out. It's definitely not going away.
VTech's going away.
Well, VTech may be going away, but I don't think the story is going to go away. I think this is going to be a catalyst for hopefully something bigger. And like I said, I think that we hear about security breaches all the time, and they're not good. I'm not saying that those are any less, but soon as it start involving kids, I think that really, working for many years in education, that was really, a high level thing. Is that we had teachers taking laptops home with kids' personal information on them, and then they would get stolen, and it just you want to have everybody go on high alert so fast. You get kids involved in. Unfortunately,
rightfully so.
Yeah, yes. I'm not saying that that's not the right response, but unfortunately,
it's gotta be the kids.
Yeah,
somebody think of the kids.
And I think this is this is going to be it for VTech. I think this whether it's a minor breach compared to some of the other things financially, you've got you have child protection, child and information, addresses, phone numbers, chat logs, pictures. Yeah, this is dangerous. This is really, really dangerous. So
they may survive if they limit if they scale back to only toys with no batteries. Maybe they'll survive this. I don't see how anybody could ever trust them ever again.
Right. Nope. That's it. So. Well, thanks, Tim, for bringing that one bringing that to the show. I think that's going to create a lot of. And guys, if you wanna talk more about this, we'd love to hear about it. Send us emails. We'll read them on the air. Send us voicemails. We'll listen to them and we'll play them on the air. Mitch has got all the information on how to send us some contact.
Yeah. We need some emails. Actually, we've been getting some of those lately.
They're full of pictures. We throw them out.
No. Some really nice emails. Send us at geeksters@podnuts.com and your voicemails at 707-6-PODNUT, 707-676-3688.
Yeah.
Do it
Please
now.
get with us. Unless you're upset that I called Spain a bogus country, please listen to it again. You didn't. I don't actually believe that Spain is a bogus. Canada that's a bogus country. We all agree. I think we all agree there. But Spain's a great country.
Being a Spaniard myself, Tim, I will speak for my people and say that you're okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm being a Spaniard. I will vouch for my people.
I think I'm a Spaniard too. I think.
There you go.
I mean, until we got kicked out.
Well, there you go. Me too. Well, we left. We were frustrated we didn't have Thanksgiving, so we came here.
Either convert, die, or get out.
All right. You can get a hold of me, Obando, and Google+, Martin at obandocomputing.com. Oh, gosh, I'm Obando Computing in the chat room. Gosh, I'm everywhere. Just Google me. Tim, if you want to get a hold of you, and you have, would you like them to?
Yeah, absolutely, please. I'm Tim Bauermeister on G+. And take all your VTech stuff back. Return it.
There you go.
Sink them.
My 15-year-old phone, it's around here somewhere.
Mitch's new 55-inch TV made by VTech.
No.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming out and hanging out with us. Hey, have a great fiscal week, and don't forget to be gruntled. Talk to you later.